All right, guys, we are live. Welcome to Flip with Rick. I am Rick. My full name is Rick Ginn. I am a serial wholesaler of 21 years, and I am here today to talk to you about probates. And I'm going to give you the most updated information. And if you've never done a probate, but you're really fascinated with them, this live stream's for you. So we are going to take the first section and go through it. And then here's what we're going to do. There's two ways you can connect with me. Number one, you have the comments. So introduce yourself. Let us know what market you're in, what's going on. And this is a great place to pair up with people to do deals. And honestly, I'm looking for people to do 50-50 JV partnerships. You don't have to, but it's out there. I'd rather you do it with the people in the column. You can do it with me and Zach through sellmypaper.com. I'll share with that a little bit later on you. And that is the easiest way. If you have a question about wholesaling in general, it can be about probates, it can be about wholesaling. Honestly, anything real estate related, hopefully it's wholesaling, but I can pretty much answer it with any of my 21 years of experience. The second way you can connect with us is you go over to Wholesaling Houses for Real, our Facebook group, soon to be the largest wholesaling Facebook group in wholesaling, period, end of story. And honestly, we didn't even start that long ago. It's a testament to how great you guys love what we're doing and supporting it. Go there and you can click a link on there. I'm not going to show you how to do it. I know Zach does it. I'm not a tech guy. You click the link to join our mastermind. It'll be right there on the thumbnail on the top. Number one, you got to be subscribed to it. You got to be following it. And you also have to be subscribed to our YouTube channels, Rick Ginn, Zach Ginn, and obviously Flip with Rick. So give a holler, guys. If you don't know who I am, my name once again is Rick Ginn. I am a full-pledged ADHD wholesaler, and I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. I get very excited, and I like to help out as many people as possible. So if you're new to this journey, do me a favor. Go over to freewholesaling.com. I'll put it up on the screen here for you, make it real simple for you. And in there, you're going to find, where did I put it? The most thorough, the most viewed, the most used wholesaling course, not only in this country, worldwide. Anybody want to challenge me on that? I know it's factual because we have the numbers. And here's the really cool part is there's nowhere to put in your credit card. You don't have to put up with some BS Zoom call or like, let me see if you're qualified. Your qualification for most of these programs, do you have a pulse and do you have a credit card? Honestly, if you got a brain and you want to be successful in wholesaling and you want to know the truth on how this business really works and you're going to work hard, freewholesaling.com, check it out. I got my 21 years, my son's, I believe it's 6 or 7 years experience now. And you combine with the young and the old. Obviously, I'm the old. And I love this business. I'm really passionate about it. I got in this business because I want to change the trajectory of my life. And my goal and my purpose with freewholesaling.com is to create a legacy to teach more individuals how to get financial freedom, how to, more importantly, get freedom of time through wholesaling. And that's it, guys. Everyone's like, hey, what's your end game? My end game is help out as many people as humanly possible, because the more people I can help, the more people that benefit, obviously, the more opportunities for me and Zach abound with that. So make sure you go over to freewholesaling.com. And as usual, guys, you know how we start this out. It takes such an energy level to do wholesaling. Honestly, if you're doing this, number one, give yourself a huge pat on the back and say, you are special, because to do this, you have to be unique. You have to be somewhat crazy. And honestly, I think some of you all have ADHD because it takes a lot of energy to do this. You get rejected a lot. Your family frowns upon what you do. Your colleagues think you're crazy, and all your friends are working 9-to-5 jobs, and you're fighting in the pits to get that separation put in your 1 or 2 year journey so you can truly be free to do whatever you want. It takes sacrifice. It takes commitment, and it takes a little bit of craziness to do it. So let's jump in. I'm going to give you the video that basically sums up what me and Zach do with wholesaling. Let's roll it.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up and get the guy. Go. Gotta wake up. Gotta wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
All right, guys, I screwed up the volume on the first part of it. Basically what I say is make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you have some sort of commitment to wholesaling. If you're crazy like me and you got ADHD and you love this business and you think outside the box and you want to do something unusual, most importantly, you want to get freedom of your time and you want financial freedom for your family, you are in the right place. So without further ado, so I don't waste time today, let's get into probates. If you guys don't know what my affiliation with probates, I went on a journey quite a while ago and I deep dove into probates all the way from start to finish. And I shared a course with you called Priority Probates, and it was phenomenal. Honestly, it was the best training you could get on probates. I was told time and time again about every guru. And by the way, every guru took it, they bought it, they repurposed it, whatever. I'm here to help everybody out. If that's what you guys want to do, that's what you want to do, but I'm going to give it away for free today. So let's get into it. So we're talking about probates. I'm going to take the first section of this and I'm going to go through it from start to finish. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And then anybody who wants to jump on the live, I take them in order of people I take. And let's just jump into it. So let me find the best way so I can get my mugshot out. So I call this probate training. It's just kind of like 101. But like, I'm going to tell you the stuff that you actually need to know. I'm not going to sit here and just give you theory, because I can go over contracts and paperwork and theory and all that stuff. That's what consultants do. Okay. Consultants tell you what to do, but they don't show you what to do because they're too scared to do the business themselves. That's my rant for the moment. If you're a consultant, I'm sorry. I'm tired of consultants trying to tell me what to do. Show me what you did. Don't show me what you did 5 years ago. Show me what you're doing today, and I'll believe you. So since I do probates, and honestly, it is my specialty, I love them, and I'm going to show you why. So let me build it up, and then we're going to get into the mechanics of how probates work. So number one, this is a legal process which assets of a deceased person are properly distributed to the heirs or the beneficiaries. What's that mean? Basically, when somebody passes away, to transfer the deed of a property, either the owner has to sign it, they have to be alive, or if they've passed away, you have to get a court order to move it along. That process is called a probate. Simple as that. I hate when people complicate this. You can blame lawyers for that or a legal system, whichever you want to do. So why I love probates, let's get into it. They are usually very neglected houses. Now, I want you to understand, how does a house become in such disrepair? It's real simple. If you've ever taken care of anybody in your family that's either sick or elderly, most likely elderly, I hope, because I don't want young people dying, you focus on taking care of the individual. Who cares about the damn house? And I commit to this completely. If grandma's not feeling good and we're trying to take care, we adapt the house. We build ramps to make her wheelchair to get up and down. We rip out carpet. We put down padding. Guys, I've done this for my parents. I've helped out multiple people do it. We take care of our family. That's why most of you are so attracted to wholesaling, because you have the ability on your time to take care of your family. Probates are no different. So I have a huge heart for people who adapt their house to help accommodate people who fall a lot, people that got hurt, or if you have to change it and put in a wheelchair and put in all the other stuff in there, it does alter the value of the house. If you've ever been into an elderly person's bathroom, you have to make it very safe. You have to have bars, handrails. Sometimes they adapt the tub and they make it to where you can open a door because they can't climb over it. Guys, all this happens, and sometimes it takes a long time. and the house gets chopped up. So I'm not here to judge the house. I want to help the house. These properties are perfect for rehabbers and fix and flippers. I don't know the difference between them. I think they're both the same thing. I really don't care because I am a wholesaler. I have never been a fix and flipper. I tried it. It sucks. It is a completely different business. Now, fix and flippers go to wholesalers to get their best deal because they don't want to do the marketing and stuff to it. When a wholesaler converts to be a fix and flipper, it's usually one of the biggest mistakes you can make because you grossly underestimate the skill set of working with contractors, project management, and the amount of time it takes to do stuff. And you guys, the other thing is you watch too many A&E shows that thinks you're going to make a fortune doing it. When you get down to the real numbers and really the return on your time, wholesaling is always going to be the best fit for you. I will argue this with anybody. Now, here's the other thing I love about probates. Most of them are vacant. They are vacant. And as a wholesaler, you guys know the dream is to have a vacant house. Why? Because I can bring in all the cash buyers. I went through it. It's a lot less stressful. And then the seller is not nearly as emotional about the property. So I'm telling you right now, for these reasons, deferred maintenance, they're vacant. They are problematic properties. They need love with a rehabber. They are absolutely perfect for people like you and me. If you haven't figured this out, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the answer. I've been doing this 21 years. To date, my favorite type of deal to do, hands down, is a probate. End of story. They're easy to show. You get multiple bids when they're vacant. It is an absolute no-brainer. So if I can bring an endless parade of people through and I'm not restrained by time, you typically get a higher sales price. And if you get a good wholesale deal, it magnifies your profitability in the deal. How does that work? Well, most probates need cash because sometimes the AC is not working, the windows are glued shut, or they're the old jealousy types of windows, and they're not going to qualify for your traditional mortgages like an FHA and a VA, which you put down very little, but the property has to be perfect. It's perfect for wholesalers. Now, I want you to understand this. The key to probates is read that top line, and I just want you to repeat it. Speed to lead. If you don't get anything else out of today, I want you to understand speed to lead in probates is the name of the game. I used to say speed kills. It's kind of an oxymoron in this business. It's not funny, I know, but sometimes I can't help my sense of humor. Speed to lead is everything. I learned this, unfortunately, the hard way my first 2 years of doing probates. I lost a lot of deals because I was slow. Now, let me explain how this works. Speed to lead simply means your ability to connect with a probate seller first. The key words are connect and first. See, you can't be first and not connect. Wholesalers do that all day long. Hey, I want to buy your property, pay you cash. Would you take $50,000? That's not connecting. That's just being first. So if you're first and you connect with them, unbelievable things happen in wholesaling with probates. So many people miss this part of it that I always teach how to connect, but sometimes my message of being first doesn't really get across your desk and you struggle with it. And the worst thing you do in a probate is like, Rick, I love your message. I love what you're doing. I believe you're the right person, but I already entered into a contract or I already got a listing with a realtor. I just missed the speed. And this happened over and over my first 2 years, and it absolutely broke my heart. So I fixed it. So let's jump in the process of doing probates. And I'm telling you how to start probates. I've done a little bit more of a condensed course today so we can get to all your questions. And if you have a question, put it in the comments. I'll try to get it. But remember, guys, I'm here to service you. I don't have this big giant staff. I want to make this as authentic as possible. So number one, a lot of you skip this process. You need to be familiar with the probates, the laws of probates in the state that you're doing this in. If you skip this step, it's going to hurt you. I know what you're thinking. That sounds like homework. And Rick, you got ADHD, so do I. How am I going to do that? Listen, most of the statutes and the procedures are online for your state. So just go look them out. So you can do it in your pajamas. You can do it by wake up from a nap, but dang it, read the rules. I'm not going to sit here and spoon feed you. Guys, there's 50 different states. There's 3,500 different counties. Get familiar with your process. You would think they're all the same. Most probates fall in one or two types of camps. I'm not going to go into details because it's a legal distinction and I'm not a lawyer. So next thing, you got to connect with your title company or. You see that word or? One of my favorite legal terminologies. It's like on or before. It's option and. So most title companies are tied with a lawyer. So what I want to do, instead of you going out and trying to meet with a lawyer and you getting a $400 bill, talk to your title company. Why? They do more probate deals than any lawyer will ever do. So they're very familiar how it works and they understand it. And 9 times out of 10, they know the best probate lawyers, or they have a lawyer that owns the title company. You get the best of both worlds. Remember, you need to develop a relationship. What you want to do is work with that title company to understand the probate process in your state, in your particular county. Because remember, 2 counties can be very different that are right next to each other. And then if I can go out and get probates, then I can hire your probate lawyer, hire you to do title, and it's a huge win-win. And I want you to understand you have to do it. So I see your questions. Keep putting them in there. Some probates, I'm going to answer them. So what's the next step? Once you talk to them, and listen, if you skip this part, you will not be able to move forward. This is like algebra in high school. Now, I slept all the way through algebra, so I have no idea how algebra worked, but it would be something like this. You have to do step 1, step 2 before you go on to step 3. Step 3. A lot of you skip this one too. You got to gather your probate leads directly from the courthouse. All probate leads come from your government list within the courthouse. That's why we call them government lists. That's where they all derive from. If you get it from a third party or anybody else, they went to the courthouse and either beat you to it or they're selling it to everybody else. I want you to understand that. I'm not a big fan of third party. Sorry, because they usually get the information to you late and they sell it to everybody and they're very expensive. By the way, I've tried every freaking lead service you can. Honestly, you're not going to save any time and money doing them. If you have the ability to pull them online, which is extremely valuable, but for those of you that have to go in person, I want you to understand it is actually a plus for you. Because if it's hard, that means a lot of people won't do it. And you've got to understand that process. So you're gathering your probate leads directly from the courthouse. This is the part where you got to use some common sense. Number 1, you don't run people over at the courthouse. They are employees. They are people in your community. Heck, they might even be your family members. You've got to treat them like gold. I don't know where in society we taught people to run people over and cram a FOIA request down their throat. You get more bees with honey. You get more flies with honey than you do with a fly swatter type of deal. And it works the same way with people. If you're going to be nasty to people, you're going to attract nastiness back. Ask for help. Ask for better questions. 9 times out of 10, it is your question you're asking. Can I get the probate list? That's a yes or no. And you're probably going to say no right off the bat. Now, you got to understand, you're going to get resistance on these lists. They assume you're up to no good. They assume you're one of those third-party vendors looking to mass this list out to everybody. And you got to say, listen, I'm a tax-paying citizen. I'm doing some research on probates in correlation to values of properties in my community. I'd like to get access to that probate list. Better yet, if you're a young person like my son or someone that's in school or someone that's looks like you belong in school, let them know you're doing a research project for your local college. You better have a name of a college and whatever your paper is called, and they tend to help you more. Now I'm giving you guys too much information. It's the truth. The next one is you've got to pick your marketing method. There's only 3 ways to do this, in my opinion. Technically, you can put SMS texting on as a catch-all safe. But number 1, you're going to mail a simple letter. People go, hey, Rick, which mail house do you use for the letter? Use the Rick Ginn. Like, I have a printer right next to me here in my studio office, and that's what I use. Since you've got to put these out on a weekly basis, preferably a bi-weekly, so you get speed to lead, you need to generate your letters yourself. Now, the good news is if you go over to freewholesaling.com, I provide you the actual probate letter, so you don't have to overthink this process. Once you do that, you print it out. If there's 10 or 12 leads for that week, you print them out. You can hand address the envelope. I don't care what you do with it, and stick it in the mail. It's really not complicated. It's not expensive. Stop overthinking the mail a letter. Do not mail a postcard. It doesn't work. I've tested it out. I'm here to tell you, you're wasting your time with a postcard. You could use a postcard as a catch-all at the very end, but in the beginning, use the letter. All our marketing, all our tests tell us the letters work well. The next one, cold call, AKA me and Zach have deemed it a warm call. Why? Because you better be super nice on this call because this is a tough situation. So once you skip trace their phone number, you go to truepeoplesource.com or use one of your services to do the skip trace. You just got to find out. I don't go and call them and say, hey, I see your dad died. Can I buy your house? And you know that's a really bad way, and it's not what humans do. I don't approach the probate. Hey, listen, I see you the house on 123 USA Street. Hey, just want to know, did you have interest in selling the house? Now, I let them tell me about the probate. I never tell them about the probate. You guys got to understand that. Some people don't want to talk about it, and it's their right. Remember, you're reaching out to them to try to get a deal done. You have to connect with them. So you have to get the speed to lead, and you got to connect with them. Don't, hey, I got your name off of a probate list. It's simply, hey, I was driving around the neighborhood, saw this house, looks like a great fit for what we're trying to buy. Do you have interest in selling the property? It's that simple. Once they talk about the probate, game on. Now you can expand and go into your probate conversation. You do not attack them on the probate. Sticky notes. If somebody is residing in the property, it's not a bad tactic. Hey, got a question about the house, our standard procedure. You guys know how to do that. If somebody's occupying the house, that will work too. You could use an SMS as a follow-up. It just doesn't get a really high response. That's why I didn't put it on there. So when you have a phone number, either on your sticky note, your SMS, or your letter mail, it's going to have a call to action for a phone number. The really cool part is if you guys don't answer your phone live, you can skip the entire procedures before this. It won't work. If you don't answer the phone, they don't trust you. What kind of person goes to this effort to go all the way to the courthouse, set up these complicated marketing campaigns, put out a letter, get it delivered. They pick up the phone. And then you don't answer it. Or worst case scenario, I don't know what gurus used to teach us. I thought this was bad in 2003. They would leave like a 2-minute message and give you instructions. If you didn't follow the instructions perfectly, I'm not calling you back. You are not in that type of wholesaling environment. You have to respond to people. One of my number one questions, Rick, how do I answer the phone? How about this one? Hello? Hello, my name's Rick. What's your name? And you just make it as personable as possible. You see, people will do business with individuals. Most people are not a big fan of doing businesses with corporations because it's very cold in the beginning, unless they have an amazing product. Your product is you. You have to sell yourself. Nobody gives a crap what your company name is. They're never going to memorize it. Honestly, I've done this so many times. They never remember the company that bought the property. They only remember the person that reached out to them and said hello on the phone. Okay? If you are busy at work or something like that, get someone to help you out with the phone, get a family member, somebody else. I'm telling you, answering the phones is probably one of the big key ingredients to my personal success in probates. And honestly, you guys can easily duplicate that. Next one is you got to be patient. I know that does not rhyme with a person with ADHD and patience, but I'm telling you, one thing probates will leave you is patience. Let me give you an example. Say you put it out, you do it for 30 days, and then you come on the live and go, hey, Rick, these probates, man, it doesn't work. I didn't get 10 deals. I never told you you're getting 10 deals from it. I'm trying to get you 1 or 2 good deals. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if you had to sit around and wait 6 months. The key is if you're patient, you'll do it. Impatient people just quit. I didn't get a result. I quit. And the ADHD in me says, I want to do that the whole time, but you got to make a commitment. How long of a commitment? 1 year, guys. If you're not going to commit to probates for 1 year, don't bother doing them, because the really cool part is they're not expensive to do. They're a little bit of a time drain, but I'm trying to give you the most profitable wholesale deals you can take down with the greatest amount of ease. Honestly, you can do probates with your eyes shut, working 2 full-time jobs. That's how easy it is. I believe in that. Next one, 80-20 rule. Please, if you don't get this one, you're going to be in trouble. It doesn't mean you're doing 80% of the talking. It means the seller, the probate seller, is doing 80% of the talking. Well, Rick, what do I talk about 20% of the time? That's easy. You listen. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. If you can't take the hint from God, why are you going to listen to Rick? The more you listen and become a good listener in probates, the better your connection comes. And the connection is the piece that they'll commit to you doing a deal, even regardless of the price sometimes. You see, when probate, most people feel vulnerable. They have a hole in their life. God knows I've gone through it. I know most of you on this live stream have gone through it. It sucks. So a person will actually listen to you and go from that would be absolutely crazy. So you've got to understand. You've got to understand that. So you have to listen. Probate, when people want to talk in probate, that is your key to do the best connection humanly possible. Here's the problem is most wholesalers want to run you over and you're selling me the house today or not. And honestly, if you do that, you are not going to get the time of day from the people. Here's my other rule. You ready? Don't discuss price on your first call. Oh, Rick, how am I supposed to get the price? I've already told you, you need patience. The 80-20 rule. You're going to speed the lead, but you have to slow down with people. Why? Because every other investor, every other realtor wants to get to the price of the house and they want to skip the relationship part. I purposely teach you this to focus on the relationship aspect, because if you don't have a good connection, good rapport, a great conversation, you can forget getting a great wholesale price. You see, my best wholesale deals are the people who connect with me on a personal level. And when they do, they trust me. I understand what they want to accomplish, and I make sure their needs are met in the transaction. If they want full retail, I move them over to my realtor. That's it. I do not force people to do anything. You're never going to make them sell you the property. So don't discuss price on the first call. On average, it takes 5 to 6 touches before I even get the price. I know that sounds shocking. It's the data that tells me this. The people that try to run over price right away, and then it becomes about price. It's not about relationships. It's not trying to figure out what people are going to accomplish. So you've got to understand that. Okay, let's keep moving forward here. As I told you, it takes 5 or 6 touches to a probate deal before you even really get in the price. If you try to touch it beforehand, you are going to get the monstrous price because you made it about price. You started that war. Start the war of connecting and having great conversations with people, and it will change the outcome of what your price is going to be. Remember, you're never going to make somebody sell you a house. Do I need to say more? If you cannot be authentic, please don't do probates. The last thing somebody wants to do when dealing with a family death or a death of a friend or a loved one, whatever it is fake people. And God knows there's a lot of fakeness in this world. It's not just a wholesaling thing. You guys see it on social media every day. Fake book, all this other stuff. They'll probably ban me on there next. So, but the idea is you've got to keep it real. People can sense. People have a vibe if you're being authentic or not. And if you want to know it or not, they know it. Period. People know if you're being authentic or not. They can tell it with your half smiles and all that like crap you're doing. Honestly, if you would just be yourself and use your God-given talents, you're going to go a lot further than trying to follow some guru that charge you thousands of dollars to do something they don't even do anymore. And last one, bring it home on it. You have to be consistent on everything I'm putting in this slide. Honestly, take a picture of the slide. Don't worry, the live stream's recorded. This right here has made me millions of dollars. This is the stuff right here. You will not get anybody else's course because it's all mechanical. You see, humans aren't mechanical. We invoke emotions. We have these things called emotions and feelings, and you have a subconscious, and you have a conscious ability. And honestly, if you understand all four things I just explained to you, you can dominate probates. But you've got to understand people are people. They make emotional decisions. They have feelings about everything. And sometimes they kind of consciously make decisions, but 90% of the people are making subconscious decisions, which is all about what I teach at freewholesaling.com, because most people are just a program walking around every day. And it's our job to help them facilitate. Think of yourself as a wholesaler, as a guide. You are not a salesperson, because it's not a yes or no question. It's, did you get the right person? Did it work out? If you are not consistent in probates, nothing works. I said the example earlier. You go in 30 days, you go guns blazing, and then, Rick, I didn't get a deal. Okay, quit. I didn't tell you it was going to take a month to get it. I don't know how long it's going to take. You've got to understand that. Just like you people doing cold calls. Rick, how many cold calls before I get a deal? I don't know. You tell me it. You see, the way you're asking the question, hence is the problem you're having with your wholesaling business. If you have to ask, how many cold calls do I have to make? How many letters do I have to send? How many doors do I have to knock on? It's not the right question. See, your question doesn't even make sense to me. Question is, how many are you going to, like, who cares? If it takes you 10,000 or one call, I don't care. Everyone's got a different learning ability. God knows it takes me a lot longer to learn stuff than most people, but I don't let that stop me. The question is, do you have a limit? If you have a limit, don't start wholesaling, because you'll get killed. You have to be the person who's like, whatever it takes, I'm going to get it done. I get it. You see, it's a journey. It's not a, how many calls do I have to make? How many text messages do I have to send? How many months before I get my first deal? I don't know. Could be one day, could be 2 years. Everyone's got a different capabilities. Everybody's in different markets. It goes on. So why I love probates the most, they were going to yield you the highest spreads in all of wholesaling. This isn't just my opinion. These are my facts. And then the community around me supports it. Probates are a no-brainer. The problem is there's only so many probates in a given market. And some of you are going to have that cute idea. Go, I'm just going to do probates all over the country. It's not scalable. I'm sorry. I've tried it. You'll go broke trying to scale probates. There's not enough leads. It's too labor intensive. And honestly, once you get past 2 or 3 counties, you're going to see how much work it takes. It's hard. So what I want you to do is concentrate on the markets that you are doing. Okay. When you're doing your market, then everything's fine. If you want to do it in a virtual market, hopefully you can get some help with it. But you'll see every county you take on has a different procedure, a different process, and you have to manage all that information, and it becomes time draining. So my recommendation is always try to focus on your local market. The ability to find stuff online now is absolutely amazing. Now, what's the different spread on a probate? This is what I'm getting to in the point of this is it's 3 to 4 times the average assignment with probates. So it's 3 times. So if you're doing deals around 10 grand, expect to go to 30. Guys, I've done 6-figure deals on little tiny single family houses. It's not an apartment complex. I've done those, even smaller checks. I'm here to tell you there's more opportunity in probates because it's a bigger problem you have to fix. And the way you get paid in this world is the bigger the problems you can fix, the more proportionate your income's going to get. The challenge is everybody wants an instant payday and nobody wants to do the work and the journey involved in it. And if you will go on with that journey, just starting at freewholesaling.com, you can get this done. The stuff I'm sharing with you in these slides today, you're not going to get from any other guru because I got 21 years. And here's what's hard to invoke as an influencer on all wholesalers. There is mechanics to doing this business. We all know the mechanics and nobody even needs a damn course for it. Let's be honest with each other. The reality is people don't know how to navigate through people's emotions, their feelings, how they react, and how to deal with people's problems. That's the real challenge. And that's what I'm trying to, if you can tie what I just said in there with the mechanics of wholesaling, it's unbelievable. The problem is there's too many zombies walking around wholesaling that have no idea what they're doing. And they're just number driven because they're desperate And the problem is that will only make your problem worse. You have to go back to the root of the problem. How did you get in this position? If you're broke, be honest with yourself. I overspent. I drank too much. I did this. I did that. I took care of other people's, not my needs. And I've always been chasing money. So stop chasing money. It doesn't work. You know what I'm talking about. Some of you go from Forex to Amazon to ERC, all this other crap going on. And then you want it. Wholesaling's for real, guys. It's been around forever. I've been doing it 21 years. I've been tempted by all those other things. And everybody I know that tried every one of them got killed. Not just all of them got killed. Okay. Those are people that chase money. I don't chase money. I chase freedom. And if you're on that journey, probates are hands down one of the best ways you can do it. Now, you have to decide which race you're going to run. And you guys know exactly where I'm going with this comment. Do you want to be a sprinter? Because God knows you've seen sprinters for the last 7 years. Where are all the sprinters? I can't find them all of a sudden. They're all disappearing. Oh, I actually have to work to do wholesaling. It's not super easy, and I can't sell millions of dollars in courses. I'm going to go try something else. Keep this in mind, guys. These are the same people who tried to shove coins down your mouth, digital currency, all this other crap. They're all missing now. I've always been here with wholesaling. I have never changed. I have never left, and I'm not going anywhere. You guys know I'm a rock, and I'm an anchor in this industry. And obviously with my son, we are very passionate about this business. Me and Zach are the only ones creating change in this business. Why? Because it's so broken. It's so ridiculous how people teach you this stuff. Someone's got to do it differently. And I'll take all the arrows from you. Me and Zach take all the arrows for every one of you wholesalers that want to know, how do I do this without writing a big giant check? And they all tell you, if you don't invest in yourself, you're never going to get done. They're full of crap. You can get almost anything done you want to get done now. And they're not going to be your accountability partner. They're what you call sprinters. Sprinters are people like, this is amazing. They teach you theory. And then as soon as that theory starts to falter a little bit, they go run and hide. They stop doing videos. They do something else. They find some other business. And then they try to bridge you over on that one. I have never, ever left wholesaling, and I never will. So here's the reasons why I never left it. The reality is I'm a marathon runner. Now, in theory, I've never run a marathon, for full disclosure. I've done a half marathon and about killed myself. Now, I'm not a small guy. Okay. I'm 6'2", and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do to run marathons for me, but I actually enjoy running. And you know how I found running? When our entire country shut down and I couldn't get in a gym, I went and did the thing that I hated the most. I hated running. Honestly, I've run from it my entire life. And now actually I enjoy it. So maybe wholesaling might be that synonym for you. I'm here to tell you guys, don't be a sprinter. They never last. They waste time. They waste energy, and they piss off everybody else around them. Be a marathon runner. You know what a marathon does? He or she runs their own race regardless of how fast people are running by you. Do you understand that? Let me get this off the screen. If you are a marathon runner, you have this, the human ability is what happens is if you're running a race, I never did cross country in high school, kind of regret it. Did a lot of other things. But when somebody zooms by you, you're like, oh my God, why are they going so much faster than I am? Are they cheating? Do they have some sort of system? Do they have an advantage or resource I don't have? 9 out of 10, they're full of crap. And you guys need to know that. A marathon runner, no matter what, you will pass the sprinter, because the sprinter will be the person laying on the side of the road. They just give up. Listen, you never are out of wholesaling unless you just stop doing it. Then you quit. I can't tell you how many times I want to quit in this business. And I still even have days where I'm like, what am I doing? Like today was a rough day, but that's part of life. Life is not perfect. If we did not have death, we'd never enjoy life. If we didn't have babies, we wouldn't appreciate someone's funeral. If we didn't have bad days, you're never going to appreciate a good day. It is no different in wholesaling. Don't give up just because you have a bad day. I'm here to tell you it works. So let me turn this over here. I had a couple questions I want to answer, and I had some very interesting questions. So I want to answer them, then I'm going to jump on the lives. So if you want to jump on the live stream, now would be the time to do it. Go over to Wholesaling Hustles for Real and click that link. Let's see here. Man, you guys got a lot of questions. That's awesome. Okay. So let me just pick through them here. Here we go. You ready? So I do appreciate all your questions. So Drew's got a good question on here. He says, hey, Rick, in Ohio, multiple attorneys have said that in the probate, the house must sell for 80% of the appraised value and the house must be appraised before sold. Is there any way around this? So Drew, remember back in the presentation where I said, you've got to read the rules. You've got to read the rules to the state in which you're doing probates. That's where you get facts. Honestly, 50% of attorneys lie to us every day. How do I know that? Because one always loses in court. But for the most part, they charge so much, attorneys never really lose. So I don't know the exact answer for it. I can tell you that's a rarity. And 80%, honestly, 80% so manipulative, it's like a joke. So, and honestly, a lot of probates you're buying are in the low 70s to 80 anyway. So it's not like the end of the world. And an appraisal is an opinion. So what I would do is research your laws for probates in your particular state, Ohio. And then I would also talk to your title company and then hopefully maybe a attorney's tied to it and then give you the facts on it. See, if you have the facts, you can easily answer the question. If you don't have the facts, you're always like, well, I think I know. Guys, the worst thing you can say to someone is, I heard, or somebody said. So if you look in here, and I'm not picking on Drew, I really appreciate your question. It says, multiple attorneys have said. So what I would do is go get verification on it. And so when an attorney cites you on something, hey, can you give me the particular statute? So make sure I follow the laws moving forward. And if the attorney struggles to give you a statute, you got to question if you're being lied to. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. Please don't yell if you're an attorney on here. I have no idea. So good question though. Awesome. So here's another one. T asks, what do I do when a realtor wants an EMD at the end of the inspection? Well, if you signed a contract, you're working with a realtor, you got to give an EMD. You got to know the rules to the game, guys, before you engage it. Did you expect that realtor not to engage you for the EMD? Realtors push hard. They want to get the deal closed for their clients, and I don't blame them. Do I work with realtors? Yes. It's less than 10% of the time, probably closer to 5%. Realtors are difficult. They don't understand wholesalers, and most of them have a very negative connotation on what we do. So if you know that, I would be trying to find off-market properties without realtors involved. But unfortunately, once you sign an agreement and your EMD goes live after your inspection, you have to put it up. So hopefully you have a cash buyer ready to go. If not, get out of the contract. So Maria says, why are you charging $2,000 now? I'm not charging $2,000 anywhere. Freewholesaling.com has been free for 3.5 years. It's still 100% free. Now, we've offered an additional service, Flip with Rick Plus. If you want to get extended time with me and Zach, if you want to do deals with us, and you want to talk to us more on a private matter, you can get into it for free by sending a deal to sellmypaper.com that we JV with it. I've got a ton of people in there for free. I'm the only guru that offers 100% free access to anything we do. But you got to earn it. So Maria, show me where I'm charging $2,000. Show me a link where I try to charge you $2,000 and I'll send you $2,000. How's that? I don't do it. I don't charge $2,000. Okay. You want to do Flip with Rick Plus? You just get more extended time with me and Zach. I told everybody on this live stream, go to freewholesaling.com. Me and Zach are the only people that give our course away 100% for free. I'm sorry, Alex Hermosi does too, but we did it long before he did it. So what's that tell you? We do things differently in this industry. This is our opinion. It's our right to do what we want to do. But honestly, if I'm charging $2,000, show me where I am. Freewholesaling.com. Go in there. Let me know if anyone's asking for a credit card, because if it is, it's been hacked. But that's not the case. So Maria, be very clear on what you're putting on that. Go through freewholesaling.com. It's all in there. Not only learn how to get your first deal, but your first $100,000. And then if you want additional time and you want to visit with me and Zach October 19th, 20th, right here in Stuart, Florida, I want to make it exclusive. So the people that want to go that extra effort and they want to JV a deal with me and they think that's worth it, then you come for free. If you don't want to do that and you don't want to pay the extra, then there's a small fee for getting into it. It ain't $2K. I'm by far the most affordable, easiest person to work with in this business because I don't do anything like any other gurus do. Honestly, I don't care what other gurus do. I just care about what me and Zach do in our business and how can we help you. See, if I just focus on you guys, I don't have to worry about all the other crap that goes on. I'm not looking to get likes. I don't care. So just make sure you get the right information. So Polly asks, I'm new to wholesaling. Do you offer any one-on-one service? No, we don't offer a one-on-one service, but I will show you a banner on the bottom here because apparently Maria thinks I charge $2K. I definitely don't. So start at freewholesaling.com. It's 100% free for 3.5 years. We've put it out there. No other guru or influencer will put their course out there for free because God forbid you might see what's behind the covers and you might not think it's worth it. So if I put it out there for free, most people like to work with me and Zach, spend more time with us and get to know us. And then they do deals with us. And the best platform to do it is the one going across the bottom, Flip with Rick Plus. Not only do that, we do a free 2 live events free per year when everybody offers charges $500 to a couple $1,000 to go to an event. It's ridiculous. But this is what me and Zach have offered. It's an insane offer. So, okay, let me get back to the comments here. I had 2 others I wanted to touch on. Oh, there it is. So Jonathan, awesome question here. You guys pay attention to this one because I love quality questions and it's perfect. It says, hey, Rick, what do you reply when calling up probates and they say they are interested, but it's going through a probate? I want to know the best response that works. Thanks. So Jonathan knows I've held back a little piece of information to help you out with probates, and I'm here to tell you how this works. So the awesome thing is they've acknowledged they're in probates and they're interested, which you've gotten over the hurdle. You're going to use the 80-20 rule and you're not going to rush them on price. I simply say, hey, Jonathan, I'm so happy to hear you're actually moving forward with the probate process. Did you know I can actually buy your probate? Did you know I can actually buy your property before the probate's done? Do you want to learn more? Yeah, absolutely. My lawyer said there's no way. I'll tell you what. Are you available tomorrow at 1:00? Yeah, I think I can do it. And go by. You're going to be tempted to explain the details over the phone. You're not. Okay. Probates, for the most part, 95% of the counties in the United States, you can buy the property before the probate's over. It doesn't mean you close the probate out. It just means you liquidate that one asset. Remember, probate is inclusive of stocks, bonds, checking accounts, savings accounts, boat, car titles, and real estate. So what's the most expensive one? It's always real estate. And people got mortgages. They've got to pay utilities. They got to pay insurance. Guys, we're in the peak of hurricane season. People want to get rid of these properties as fast as possible because it drains the estate. So the laws have written in an exception. If both parties want to get the property sold, the judge can the attorney enters into a motion to liquidate the asset. Now the money goes to the estate, but it's not bleeding anymore. And the executor or the PR doesn't have to deal with the burden of taking care of that property, which I find to be one of the biggest problems. So that's what I do, Jonathan, is give them the trade bait. Say, listen, did you know I can buy your property before the probate's done? Did you want to learn more on how to do that? Don't give it to them over the phone. Set an appointment and use that as trade bait so you can meet with people, because no other investor, unless they're watching this, is going to be able to reply with that one. Actually, I got to give Jonathan best question of the live so far. That is awesome. So I had one more I got to do here, and then I'm going to jump on the lives here. Okay, and you guys are answering your own questions, so it's perfect. Let's see. Could you... So just to summarize, because we're piggybacking on that other conversation, you simply, once you have a signed agreement, and you're allowed to do this in your state, that's how you got to get verification of the rules. You basically work with your title company and say, listen, the seller wants to sell the property now. Their attorney's telling them they have to wait till the probate's over. The title company will usually give you direction, sometimes with advisement of an attorney that owns it. If they say, yes, you can do it, then say, listen, what motion does the attorney need to file? Remember, the attorney doesn't work for me, doesn't work for the title company, works for the seller. So now, Slumsy, you've got to communicate to your client, which is your seller, which is the executor of the probate. You need to ask your attorney to file a motion to liquidate the asset. Now, it's a little bit different in each state. I'm not giving you legal terminology, but you have to instruct them that is the client's wishes. You can't do it. The seller has to do it. Remember, the attorney doesn't work for us. The attorney typically fights them on it, says there might be an additional fee of $150 for me to file that, then just offer to pay it on the back end of the closing. That's it. It's that simple. Because attorneys, if you ask 10 attorneys, 9 will tell you can't do it. It's a flat out lie. It's used for complete manipulation so they can jack up attorneys' fees and they can stay in control. Attorneys' favorite ploy is let's get an appraisal, let's get a BPO, let's get it listed, let's do all this stuff. Why? Because they make more money. It's just the truth, guys. So you have to ask the seller to request their attorney to initiate a sale of the asset, and they have to submit it to a judge. The good news is it all takes within 30 days. The judge signs off. Every now and then, if there's a crazy, like I did one, it was super, super cheap, and the judge wanted to know why, and I present all the repairs and pictures, and the judge says, yeah, that's fine. So it's that simple, guys. So let's see. Where you go? So last one, Chris asked a good question here. If you don't talk about probate with the people that are going through a family member, do you do it with pre-foreclosures? In the beginning, I don't. But honestly, if you got to use it as prod bait because you're going nowhere else with it, you can do it. It embarrasses them a little bit. The problem in probates, if you do it, you hurt them. And I'm not into hurting people. So you can use in pre-foreclosure, but I wouldn't do it in the beginning. I would offer, I go, listen, I can't help but notice the excellent, that mean bank took action against you. What are you doing to do that? And once you understand that, at least you got some leverage. But like, I'd rather deal with embarrassment than hurt. And you guys understand exactly what I'm saying with that. So, okay, let's jump over to the lives. And if you have any more questions about wholesaling in general, probates, so Jason's correct on this. Hurricane season doesn't change how you wholesale unless you got a 150-mile storm bearing down on you. You got to run. By the way, guys, I've had to pack up 5 times in my 20 plus years because I live in Florida and I've been hit with some crazy stuff. I had one year in 05, it was 04 or 05. I got hit with 2 hurricanes in PSL back to back within, I think, a 12-day period. I didn't have electricity for 3 months. It was an absolute nightmare. And we had so much rain, it was real problematic. But Jason makes a good point. Keep pressing on because the news loves the hype up hurricane. So looks like Damon's got a great attorney there. Just throwing it out there for anybody who wants. Last question, I promise. Are probates good for VAs to call, or should I call on my own? I'm going to let somebody answer that in the questions, in the comments. Please, somebody answer Alicia's question. It's not a bad question, Alicia. I just want to teach you. I'm not going to answer it. I see my ADHD is getting ready to explode here and just say, hey, listen, I want to run it over. You guys know the answer. Somebody answer Alicia's question for me because I want it to become from the majority. So I'm assuming it's she, but so they understand. I'm terrible with names, guys. So don't pick on me for it. So Jason hit it right. You got to call yourself. This is not something you give for VAs. It's the worst, in my opinion, it's the worst thing you can do. So, okay, let's jump into lives. If you want to jump on the lives, now's the time to do it. And let's see. Oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see here. Ramel, you there?
Yeah, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Yeah, I see your avatar is pain.
Because you need pain to succeed, man. I just
Well,
had one quick question for you, man.
go ahead.
Uh, so I've been trying to get access to the probates list for Greenville, South Carolina,
Hmm.
and I went on the website, the clerk of the court website, and they said I had to come in person, right? But the problem is I'm virtually wholesaling there from New Jersey. So I tried to like get somebody that's locally in that area to go
Okay.
in for me, and I
Yeah.
haven't found somebody, like no one so far is willing to do that. So what should I do?
So you said it's Greensboro, right?
Greenville County.
Greenville. So what I would do, go to Wholesaling for Houses for Real
Mhm.
and put a post in there, see if you can partner up with someone there.
Mhm.
Find other forums and stuff like that, and just find someone that wants to take a risk in doing it with you.
Yeah.
And understand it's the first one's painful. After that, you learn. So that's why I see you got pain in there, but it's just a process you have to go through. That's the only problem with doing stuff virtually. It's like you get stuck in this. So but you're going to have to give precise instructions, because that once they get there, then it's a whole nother level. Are they going to stay there and actually get the information? Because pulling government lists at like a county office, especially a probate court, it's a pain in the ass, because
Okay.
you have to ask very specific questions. So you have another set of obstacles to get through. I'm just telling you the truth. I
Yeah.
don't like want to disappoint you.
No,
So
it's
I
fine.
would find someone that's got a brain that wants to do something like that. Either someone who's very detail oriented or someone who has an interest in getting started in wholesaling. And you're going to have to offer them, either you're going to have to offer them money, like you have to Zelle or Venmo them like $50 to get something done for you, or you're going to have to offer a partnership on the deals.
Okay.
That's
Thanks.
it. Like there's nothing you can do. You're physically limited. I get it. I know you drive. It's not worth you driving all the way down from Jersey. I'm sure that's a long drive.
So is there like a specific set of questions that you I should tell them to ask the uh the people at the clerk of the court office?
So I would try to figure out as much as you can over the phone before you send them there,
Yeah.
because if they're there too long, they're going to get frustrated and they're just going to leave and nothing gets done.
Oh yeah.
So
So
you're looking for a master list of all probates pulled in the last 30 days.
mhm.
And then the problem is then you got to find who the executor or the PR on it is. And that's a two-step process. And sometimes people can't even get past step one you got to get past step one to get to step two. It goes a lot better in person if you just say, listen, can you help me? I'm just an average Joe. Can you show me the process? And then, because if you just get the docket, it's not enough for you to get the information. It really isn't. Now you could pull the court case up depending on how that state operates. Some give you access, some only give it to attorneys. And I don't know. So the main thing is you're looking to get the deceased person's name and who is the PR executor. End of story. That's the only stuff you really need to know. You guys can go do the research to see if they
Yeah.
own real estate in that county. So you only really need two specific pieces of information on a probate. If you guys ever look at a probate, some of them are exhausting and they make it very complicated. And I apologize. I did not create this process. The government likes to create mass confusion. So you have to hire specialists to figure it out. Our job is to sort through that crap. Every county is different. It's ridiculous. Why not each state is the exact same is beyond me. I don't know what to tell you on that one, but you're going to have to get through step one, and then you got to get to step two. I would try to ask them on the phone, if I come down there, am I able to pull the entire docket of all the probates in the last 30 days? And will I easily be able to access the PR's information?
No,
That's it.
I had already spoke with them. They said if I came in, they'd allow me to take pictures like of it for free,
Mhm.
and I can't do that. But the thing is, also when I try to post in the Facebook group, they make me like go through admins, and my post ends up never being posted.
Yeah, I
So
know that's so the problem is if you post on ours, it gets delayed a little bit. And the reason we do that is the amount, guys, for every post you think me and Zach delay you on, we're denying like 3,000 to 5,000 posts. That's how bad it is. It's so bad. If I let all those, so me and Zach did an experiment for 2 weeks. We let everything go through. You guys went nuts on us. Like, dude, it's like, I can't find anything. We're being spammed to death. And that's the challenge with that stuff. So if you have a quality post, I'll make sure it gets through, but it might take a day to get approved. Unfortunately, there's so many scam artists out there and so many people who they just want to take from every group. They want to do value.
Mhm.
Do you guys realize we reject more people than we accept into free wholesaling, into wholesaling houses for real? Because 98% of the people that want to go in there are VAs and they just want to spam you to death. And if you did that, you would get thousands of posts a day and you guys would never get any relative information. So unfortunately, this is what we have to do. I have to pay people to sort through this stuff and it's painful. I can't fix that because we tried it multiple times and we have the same problem over and over. So if I let everybody through, no one will see your post, I promise you.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
have to filter it to a point. So the idea is, here's one thing I tell everyone who wants to post in the group: add value first, and you're most likely to get approved. If you just want to take, and where's your cash buyers? Where's this? Where's that? And you just want to post your deals, there's better ways to do it than at our Facebook group. There's the reason we're just about the largest, because we don't put up with the crap anymore. Okay? And guys, please stop sending me your DMs. Why didn't you approve my post? Honestly, it's nothing personal. I don't even manage that part of business, but I promise you, you either took or you didn't provide value. That's how I train my people. If they don't provide value, don't approve it. Why? Because do you want to see thousands of posts that are just, hey, I'm the best picture taker. Like, call me. I'll do anything for you. Because that's 98% of the posts that are in there. Or, hey, where's your cash buyers at? I know where those posts come from. They come from gurus and other groups that teach to go in and find the biggest groups and pull from them. You guys, don't let people do that stuff to you. You got to start whenever you network with someone. If you can't provide value first, I promise you, your post will never get approved with us. And guys, stop taking it personally. Like, it's not, I'm not trying to pick on you, but decisions have to be made and it is what it is. So you're going to have to find someone that will follow a process. I would get as much detail as you can. And then you got to figure out how you're going to reward them. If it's financial or you're going to tie them into the deal. Because remember, people are taking a risk because they know nothing about you.
Yep. Okay. That's all I had
Okay.
today. Thanks, man.
Okay, man. Okay.
I'll check in next week with you and let you know how it went.
Awesome. Okay. So you guys understand that? Like, it is not personal when you don't get approved for a post. It just means we want to build a community up and make it better. And I get it. And then also we get a lot of duplicate posts. Some people keep posting the same thing over and over. You're going to get rejected because we actually have built-in filters that stop you from doing it. And the funny thing is, I see people in Wholesaling for Houses Real, and I see it on 15 other websites. I know exactly what you're doing. And when you do that, you get identified, and then your posts don't get approved anymore. So keep it in mind. The idea is to provide value, to celebrate people's wins, and help people out with problems they're having in wholesaling, and reward the people that do phenomenal. I'm just not here to like give everybody, just everybody can't have the platform all at once. So, okay, let's keep going here. What's up, DJ? How you doing?
What's up, Rick? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. It's like 300 degrees in Florida, and there's storms on both sides of the coast. But like, all I care about is the storm. I'm pushing up the middle. And guys, football season starts this week. Not that I really care.
What? I think your Miami Dolphins about to get Jonathan Taylor, man, and I'm kind of upset about it.
I like our Mostart guy, but I think they're overreacting to the last game they played. I really do. You know the status of like running backs. Suddenly they're giving them away for free. Now we're going to give away half the team. It just drives me nuts. So,
right,
but
yeah.
Anyways, listen, guys, there was a time in my life, my Miami Dolphins and Miami Hurricanes ruled my life. Now keep in mind, 80s was a good time to be in South Florida football. It's a whole different world right now. I love my football. I look at it as entertainment. And honestly, I love to watch any combative sports. But I love my Dolphins. But I did my fantasy team. I actually picked a few Miami players. Obviously, I took the cheetah because that's my boy. But it's they're fun to watch. You got to admit, like the Tua thing's completely unknown. Tyreek's probably one of the fastest guys in the NFL, and like they have some crazy linemen going on. I think they're going to be fun, but I think ultimately I can't wait to see what the Jets to do. I'm a big anti-Jets fan, but like they put a wild team together, but we'll see what happens with it. But you guys didn't come here to talk about football. So what's going on, man?
Since the last time we talked, I reached out to that title company about as far as, being able to sell the property before it's unsupervised or while it's supervised. And they pretty much let me know that the same thing you said is that I have to go through the attorney, the probate attorney that's listed. But I don't know. I know a lot with building rapport. You say like the tonality and everything else about how you talk, and you want to match the seller. But that's kind of what I got from the seller. So in that situation, do you just press on aggressively, or do you just, how do you handle something like that when they tone is coming off as, what do you want? Very direct, you know what I'm saying? And I try.
So here's what I do. Let's since obviously you like football like I do, you got to look at you got to shock people sometimes. So when people are direct or they're very confrontational and you're trying to go, hey, listen, DJ, listen, I'm just trying to find out, connecting as one human being to the next and just trying to see if there's a good fit here. And you're like, no, sorry, you're not getting it.
Right.
I go to the Hail Mary, man. Like, what do you got to lose? They're about to hang up on you, right? Go to the Hail Mary. Just do the wildest play you've ever done. Don't do anything that violates your ethical system. I used to say some things when I was younger, and I'm not going to advise to say it because now when I'm in person, if someone's direct with me in business and they're just brutal, I used to say, who hurt you? Because you get a reaction. Like, because the reality is I've been on this earth 53 years, and I'm here to tell you, the one thing I've learned is everybody you run into is a direct reflection and mirror of your self-image. I know it sounds screwed up, but honestly, the longer I live, the more I think that's true. Number two, understanding everybody is in a different phase in their life. Right. Sometimes you just catch people at a really bad time. Right. Over my 21 years, I've had more sellers call me and apologize for chewing me out. I just got really bad news about my daughter. This happened, and you just caught me at the worst possible time. But she goes, you were a gentleman about it and you weren't nasty about it. And I do appreciate it. So on the Hail Mary on the phone. So here's how I do it less intrusive on the phone. Hey, John, am I pissing you off? And I go just like that. You guys going to laugh about it? What do I have to lose? Because I'm going to try to get them in a chuckle or get them in a different reaction. Nobody asks them questions like that.
And that's kind of like an icebreaker.
Yeah. You just got, hey, John, you almost want to say, did you roll out of the wrong side of the bed today? But play around with it because, if you feel like they're going to hang up with you, you might as well try something on the phone and just take a shot at it. And some people will start to laugh. They go, listen, I just got the worst news of my life.
Yeah.
And either you try to go, hey, listen, I get it. And then most, DJ, would you say most people, they don't want to be nasty by nature? I would say 85% of people are genuinely nice, good people. 10 to 15% of this world, honestly, I don't know what's wrong with them. And you're going to run into those type of people. So you have the choice to do business with everybody, but you might as well just take a shot at people. So in person, you can be much more personable about it. Go, listen, have I hurt your feelings or something? Did I do something like crazy? When I'm on the phone, I go, listen, do I just irritate you? Is that the problem? Is it my voice? Because a lot of people tell me my voice is a little bit weird. So make fun of yourself, reflect it back to them. You don't have to do this, guys, but honestly, if they're just, they're on the right list or the right person, you got to find a way just to break the ice with them. The worst they're going to do, DJ, is hang up on you. So just say, listen, did your team lose this week?
And the reason I asked is it's pretty much the same situation as the question that was posted earlier, is that he answered and was pretty much like, we're going to sell it, but it's in probate at the same time. And then, so
great.
I try not to come off like I know everything, but be confident at the same time.
Yeah, so use the line. You go, listen, what if I could show you a way you could actually sell that property before the probate's over?
When I said that the first time, he was like, nope, per the paperwork, we can't do it. So I didn't want to, keep pressing them.
I know. But so you got to understand, some people take literally whatever the lawyers say, like it's the truth. And by the way, people who list their house with realtors, they do the same thing. No, my realtor said, by the way, just so you guys know, I know I'm going to piss off everybody in NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and all brokers, every listing somebody enters into, they're pretty much unenforceable.
Right.
Ask me how I know. I've challenged more listings than a lot of people in the state of Florida. I get people that they've had it listed for a year. They can't sell it. I go, just put it in writing and tell them you want to get out of it. They haven't performed. I don't coach them, but like after a year, come on.
Right.
And then I've had people go to closings. I've had realtors show up. I go, that's fine.
Okay.
Those, just so you know, but here's the reality. Most people don't end listings because they're scared of the realtor. Most realtors, let's face it, they're aggressive. They make you sign one-sided paperwork, and most of it's illegal and lopsided. And by the way, the National Association of Realtors has been chased down by the Department of Justice. I think we're approaching 10 years now, and they're getting ready to crack the case where they're going to make realtors, they can do a listing fee, but they can't do the buyer's agent fee. It has to be done separate. It's going to change how real estate. So you know how they do 6%? No longer. You're going to have to sign a 2 or 3% listing, and if you have a buyer's agent, you negotiate a separate deal with them. Makes sense, right? Like it shouldn't be. Everything's convoluted because what they do is monopolize the market. If you or me did that with any other business, we'd be sitting in a jail cell. But they get away with doing it because they have lobbyists. So honestly, just try something a little bit wild. That don't say anything like offensive, but just say, listen, does my voice irritate you? Did your team lose today? Right. When I used to be broke, my entire Sunday was dictated by how the Dolphins did. And you know how my Sundays pretty much landed. It was a pain in my butt. They would build me up and then they'd just destroy me when it came playoff time. And I got tired. And then in the 80s, the Hurricanes went through a 57-game home win streak. I'll never see that again in my lifetime. And it was a gift. And I didn't appreciate it when I had it. So it's a lot of people, like their mood set, like which team wins. I'm different now. I've matured. I enjoy people. I feel better when my team loses, but it doesn't ruin my day anymore. And that's a maturity. You guys know what I'm talking about because in my 20s, I was immature. I was broke, and my team. Now I root for my business. I root for my family, and I root for everybody that works with me in wholesaling. And when you look at it like that, it is entertainment. I think most of these athletes are freaks. It's amazing. And not that I know what it takes, but like, guys, I barely made my high school football team. Like I'm never getting close to the NFL. So I can appreciate what they go through. And you need to take that same discipline and practice an athlete would do it with your wholesaling, because that's truly what differentiates the people that really do well in this business go along and the ones that just kind of do high school football. Like you can throw anybody on a high school football team. And by the way, high school football is my favorite type of football because we have local games. I like to go on Friday nights. Most of the parents and stuff. But I just love watching kids light up. Like, my God, the speed, Mitch, it doesn't matter how big you are in high school football. It's all about speed. Speed kills. And I teach you in probate, speed kills. There's no bigger difference than in high school football and speed. You watch like two guys. I'm like, is he running backwards? Like it's truly, and if you appreciate sports, it's like, that's where you find really gifted people. But then when they go to college, all of a sudden it's much more competitive. In the NFL, it's like 1% to 2% difference. It's crazy, the level in these teams. And eventually you guys got to do the same thing with your wholesaling and just level it up. But I'm going to get in trouble for talking about too much football. Zach's going to yell at me. So,
all right, I got two more things before I let you go.
Shoot.
I spaced it. One, trust. How do you approach trust? How do you find the companies? Are they even worth pursuing?
You're talking about properties owned in a trust.
Right. Because I look it up in the prop stream and then I had an owner. I have XYZ trust.
So do you understand what a trust is?
Either belong to someone who's deceased or on the verge of being deceased, kind of like assets management. So
trusts are very confusing. Like,
okay, yeah, see.
So there was a time in my life during the short sale bonanza of 2009 to 2012. I did a lot of trusts, hundreds of them. To the point, I had the state of Florida come in and say, we need to know exactly what you're doing. Guess what? I had no idea what I was doing. I took someone's advice and it was working so well, I didn't understand it. And I learned just because you don't understand something doesn't make you accountable. So I learned the hard way. I didn't get in any trouble, but I got a stern warning. I had to stop doing them. Trusts serve as a vehicle to accomplish what somebody wants to accomplish. Now, they're usually done with very high-priced lawyers and very sophisticated planners. That's the idea of the real trust. But trusts have come all the way down to the wholesaler level to the point. Trust does a couple of things. The word trust means exactly what it means. And guys, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just giving you the layman's term of it. Is a trust was designed if someone was going to leave the country for an extended period of time or something like that, you would form a trust. And then I'd say, okay, DJ is going to be in charge of my trust. He's going to be the trustee, and he has all the decision powers as me as the owner because I trust him. And then there's a document that spells out what you're responsible to trust. If you get paid, most people are free in there. And then there's a beneficiary of the trust. Usually the person that opens the trust is the beneficiary of the trust. But here's the neat thing. Trusts are not recorded in public record. So you don't know what my intentions are behind that trust. Right. Most people do trust to either somewhat try to avoid probate because they have some sort of complicated like tax strategy. Mm-hmm. And most people going to have a lot of money to do something like that. Or sometimes people don't trust the person's names on that asset. So they do something to protect them. Like if you had a wild child, like Britney Spears owning a property, we all know how that works out. And guys, I love Britney Spears. I'm showing you how old I am, but she's going through another divorce. Anyways, and the guy that's told her, he goes, if she doesn't cancel the prenuptial agreement I signed with her, I'm going to expose her. Well, you just announced to the world you're doing extortion. It's like 5 to 7 years in jail just for making that claim. Because she's worth $60 million. So, oops, she did it again. But what I'm saying is sometimes people that are spoiled and rich, not that she is, she earned it. They put somebody in charge of that asset so they don't screw it up. Right. And so it's either for tax strategy. Some people think they're cute and they can avoid probate, or it's the last one people use it for is someone like me. Sometimes I'll buy a property in trust so you can't figure out what I'm doing. It's very hard to figure out what's going on in the trust. Now, if a property ever goes to a court case, the trust gets called and it gets recorded in public record and it becomes public. So if you do something wrong, you can actually get busted in a trust and it actually work against me. I got sued on a property I owned in a trust once, and I got taken to the woodshed. And I don't do them any longer because I didn't understand what was going on. But as the judge said, just because you don't understand it doesn't make you responsible for it. And I moved on and I settled with my life. And there was a big wave in wholesaling where people taught you to do everything in trust because you couldn't figure anything out. And guys, I'm telling you, you think novations were bad. If you think trying to sell to retail buyers is bad, what a trust did is you convinced the homeowner to put the property in a trust. And then basically when you went to close, it looks like they were selling the property and you were hiding everything. I didn't do this technique. I did a little bit different. But you want to talk about, like, I saw the abuse that was going on with it, but people were teaching this all across the country. Thank God the internet was somewhat limited back then, but they've since shut it down. They'll shut down novations. They pretty much shut down novations in Florida. And now someone's come out with a new program to teach you how to sell your wholesale deals to retail. You never have to worry about a middleman. I promise you're going to have to play so many games in between your wholesale to your retail deal. It has nothing to do with wholesaling when you do that crap, guys.
Yeah.
So,
all right. My last question is on sellmypaper.com. I know it say if you got it under contract, it can't be on the market. Do that mean on the market with a realtor or just like listed on Zillow?
Well, the idea is we don't want to compete with you on your own deals because it's really so when we first started it, we learned this the hard way. We had like 60, 70 deals inked. And then people kept unwinding deals. Well, I sold it on my own. I'm like, no, please don't sign up with us if you're trying to market it on your own. It's not fair. I don't charge a dime up front, anything to do. And if you want to do a deal with us, the people that do deals with me, they understand. The people that just want to throw me a Hail Mary, like, because you can't sell it and you're in the last day of contract, I'm not going to help you. Right. The problem is if we commit to do a deal, I said, DJ, we're doing a deal. We got 15 days to find a buyer. I'm going to go to town. You're going to go to town. But if you're marketing it separately outside of me and you go, no, Rick, I'm going to cancel, it's not going to work out. it's not fair. It's
Right.
so I just had two. Another one happened again. Big spreads, and they at the last minute they find a buyer and they go, you know what? I don't need you or Zach. I'm just going to take the entire. You want to do that? It's fine. Get off my list. Get out of freewholesaling.com. I don't want to deal with people like you. And we find when people go out and fish and do that. And by the way, I have two people that just search for people do that. The minute you do it, we cancel it and we block you on everything because it's deceitful, it's unethical, and I don't want to do business with people like that. Do you understand? Like we're fighting against each other, and then it's like you're optioning. Like you asked a girl to the prom. You know that girl, you're like, I'm not sure, but she's good. That's me and Zach sometimes. And then you see this really like cool girl, hot. You're like, I'm going to her. Screw you guys. I don't want to be the girl in waiting. If you want to form together, and I'll fight. And then if I have to step out of the way to make it work for you, and you follow the rules, I will do it. But like, don't kick me to the curb because it's painful, and it's not fair. And unfortunately, 70% of our deals we have to like filter out because people do that exact same thing. Because I'm free, don't mistake my time. But I promise you, if you burn me, you will never be on any of my platforms again. And if you think like that, that means you're not going to last in wholesaling, and I don't want to do business with you. So does that make sense? I don't want to compete with you.
I definitely get what you're saying, but I don't know if it answered the question all the way.
So
if it's on Zillow, the basically it's a FISBO.
Okay.
And it's under contract.
So did you get it at 70% of the Zillow price or lower?
No.
You got to read the rules in there.
Well, that won't deep discount. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Because the idea is what we do is we take the stuff that fails and we learn from it. And it go, is it just us or do people take advantage of this? And it's a little bit of both sometimes, and we learn and go forward. If you have a smoking deal, you know how to always reach out to me, support at Flip with Rick, and just put smoking deal on the top. But I'm just telling you, if you cry wolf too many times, I don't look at your deals. I have one person send me 36 deals. Honestly, I don't even think a realtor would have listed any of these deals. I'm not looking for that type of stuff. That's not wholesaling. That's, I don't know, agent out arm, whatever you want to call that stuff. I don't do that stuff. I am not a disposition specialist. I am a wholesale specialist. If the deal makes sense and you want to do 50-50 and you want to form a partnership with you and get instant access to Flip with Rick Plus, I'm your guy. And I'll tell you up front, I go, man, I don't think it's going to work. I don't want to waste time, and I don't want you to screw up your deal with your seller. So a lot of our deals do not make the cut because honestly, I'd have to hire 10 full-time acquisitions people to do that. And I don't really want to do that. I do plenty of deals in my markets, my local market, my virtuals. I love to sell mypaper.com, and we're learning and hiring the right people to help us. Because guys, I don't understand, you know how many hours goes in a deal on our side? If I work on 20, 30 deals a week, there's 2 to 3 hours that goes into each deal. Someone's got to pay these people. And if I'm not charging you guys any money and I'm doing a 50-50, it's got to be somewhat of a no-brainer.
Right.
And if it doesn't pass the no-brainer test, so you guys, most of you can figure that out on your own, what a no-brainer is. But if it's like 5% off retail, I'm not even going to return. Like, I just don't mean to be that way. It's just, but like, this is how wholesaling works, guys. Just because you put a property under contract.
I thought the sell my paper was like being able to JV with other members and whatnot too, though.
We do, but we have to have a snuff test with it, because if I told you how many deals get submitted on it, you wouldn't even believe me. And I don't want to share the numbers because I keep it somewhat private, but like, honestly, I want to help everybody out. But like, sometimes you see 300 deals and you're like, okay, let's go start going through it. And then like a day goes by, you're like, my God, like there's only 1 or 2 that we can even work with. Most of them violate the rules, and that's why people are lazy. And I want to fix that. How do you fix it? Go through freewholesaling.com and find a way to connect with motivated sellers. I've never said I would just want deals to sell them. That's what realtors do. I don't do that. I can't do it. And honestly, the people I've done deals with, I tell you, like, yep, I gave it to Rick. I knew it was a no-brainer because Rick said in the first 10 seconds, that's a no-brainer. If we have to spend more than like 7 minutes going over the deal, it usually sucks. Well, I got this comp and it always starts like how many comps and how many hours I spent comping it. And I go, listen, if you're spending that much time, I'm probably not going to be the right guy. And every now and then I buy them for myself, but I got to get help with people that I have in those local markets for like a little bit of a 3-month longer term play. I don't mind investing money in a really smoking deal that just, you need to get rid of a bad tenant or something like that. I love that stuff. But remember, every state has different laws, and there's some states that are hard for me to navigate through with my lawyer to get it done. It's crazy, but Florida's a no-brainer. Most of the Southeast is a no-brainer. California is a nightmare, but it doesn't mean I don't get deals from there, and I haven't worked on deals. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
All real estate is local, DJ. All real estate is local. If it makes sense to you, and the only thing is you're short on knowledge and you're short on cash, that's probably a deal that's going to work. But if it's on MLS for 105 and you got it for 100, that's not stuff I deal with. End of story. You're going to have to show me what the real value is. I don't care what realtors list it for and what they listed on Zillow. What's the real ARV and how much of a discount you're getting and how hard is it to take this to market? And that's it. That's all we base our decisions on.
Right on, Rick. I appreciate you. I'm going to catch you.
Okay, DJ. Okay, man, I got 2 weeks till the Dolphins start. So,
man, I hope y'all lose.
Who's your team?
The Colts.
The Colts. Well, how do you feel about Jonathan Taylor?
I think I can't really say he's good. He's been their best player. It's just like it's like a league-wide problem, so it ain't just us here. So
yeah, I know.
I think the Dolphins might end up getting him though.
I don't know. They're all about value. I don't know. Like with the whole thing is going on with the running back positions, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but we'll see. Time will tell, man. I'm excited. It'll be fun.
All right, Rick.
Okay, DJ. I'll see you. Okay, guys. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Let me jump in the comments. I'm sorry about the football talk. You got to break it up, make this like somewhat entertaining. You have to, otherwise, like my ADHD will take over on that. So, okay, let's jump here. I think that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Listen, if you got value from this stream, do me a favor, smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You're subscribed to the Flip with Rick channel. Guys, make sure you check out my channel, Rick Ginn. Obviously, my son has one. I'm trying to catch him. Give me some love on it. But I release stuff on there, and I go live on Monday evenings. So, guys, check it out. It's a lot more informal, and my ADHD really kicks in on that. But the reason I mention my ADHD is just because it doesn't matter what your disorder is like. I don't care what people have labeled you with. If you truly want to be free, and I mean free in all aspects of your life, I strongly believe in wholesaling, and it's the way to go. So without further ado, I appreciate you guys. Those of you on the Flip with Rick Plus, I'll see you in a couple minutes, and I'll see you in the Zoom room.